Welcome everyone to the Teen Debater session on the use of technology in model United Nations and debates. I'm Anand, and we're excited to have you all here today. Please don't hesitate to drop your questions in the chat during the session, and we'll definitely get back to you. The Teen Debater is an organization dedicated to revolutionizing debate education, access, and activity for schools and students across India. We want debate to be a powerful tool for social mobility and change and make it accessible for free. We aim to enhance your critical thinking, expand your worldview, but also go beyond debate and build a community. Your speaker for this session will be Yamish Goel, an avid debater and a proud member of our management team. Hi Yamish, how are you?
Hey Manan, I am fine. So hello everyone and welcome to our session by the Teen Debater on use of modern technology in MUNs. So I'm just like you from a student named Yamish Goel from Plus One. I'm actually currently if I give my introduction, I'm currently pursuing my JE and debating. When coming to debating, it's a great form of an art, if you say. Debating and MUNs, they are most like they are actually, if you see, they are just simple things and they're also very similar. But debating and MUNs, where do they hold difference also? We will discuss that also in our session. And how in MUNs you can use our modern technology, the all the resources that are available on the internet, how you can use them and be the best delegate in the MUNs. We are going to discuss that. So, firstly, giving an introduction about the teen debater. Yes. Who we are, you must ask. The teen debater. We are actually a non-profit organization. We have we have been dedicated to transforming debate education for school students. We believe that debate enhances analytical thinking and effective communication, promoting inclusivity for students from all backgrounds to engage in meaningful discourse and democratizing debate education. What's our mission and vision? Revolutionizing debate for young minds by nurturing self learning, peer exchange, and global cooperation with unmatched resources and collective leadership. We offer debating education to marginalized communities in India, creating a self sustaining community with decentralized leadership. We provide comprehensive debate resources to our wide audience. Our goals. What are our goals of the teen debater? The first goal, as we have discussed, accessibility. Accessibility to everyone in India, to every nurtured mind in India. Empowerment. We empower debates and MUNs. We encourage them. And third, education. Education. So education on debating and MUNs. We will, as I have told you, that we educate, we are aim to educate everyone for debating and MUNs. Independence and excellence. Excellence in debating and MUNs. Leadership structure. If I talk about that, then our community, the teen debater, is actually divided into four parts: management, organizing, social media, and technology. Now, moving further on. So, first you will, if anyone's new, they will ask, what do MUNs look like? MUNs, MUNs, the full form Model United Nations. They are a simulation of the United Nations where participants, typically students and college students also, represent various countries and debate on global issues. MUNs offer a platform for young minds to engage in diplomacy, negotiation, and problem solving. They mirror the real world proceedings of the UN, United Nations. Participants, which are the students and representatives of their various countries, research their assigned countries' policies, their perspectives and interests, and then they articulate them in committee sessions where they discuss various, I don't know how, I can't actually tell you in numbers, but there are a lot of various global issues that are coming in right ahead. Firstly, talking about opening speeches. You know, if when I firstly went into an MUN, I didn't have any, information that how it's going to be, if I can do better or I will be like some of the sidelines. But yes, when I reached there was the opening speech, and in any session, the first thing that matters and gets you the most points is the opening speeches by you. At a Model United Nation conference, the speech making and debating, these are the two necessary skills for you to get your success as a delegate. It doesn't matter if you are used to a general speakers list or formal session or some form of speech making, but you can do it well if you have the confidence and engagement. Your first speech, it can be incredibly important in determining the reception of your policies and of you, your personality as a delegate, as you start in a conference. If I sharing my personal experience with you also, that I didn't get to know much about the opening speeches, but what I knew was that there's a general speakers list where I would just stand there and speak what is the perspective and views of the country assigned to me on the global issue. The first when attended, I was in the committee of the UN ECOSOC, and as you and by the UN ECOSOC stands for United Nations Environmental and Social Council, s- Social Council Organization. So when you talk about that, you get that environmental. The first thing that UN ECOSOC sees is the environment issues, like the rise on global warming by the use of CFCs and etc. So I just stand there. I just, when they called out my name, I just got stand up and I just got on speaking whatever I had written, whatever I had prepared, without any emotions, without any engagement, and without seeing the EB, which is the executive board, or any of the delegates. And these three things were the worst things that I did in MUN, that got me the worst thing that got me, like, I don't think that I was even in the top 10, because our the committee the in the committee in which I was, it consisted of only 20 participants, and I was even in the top 10. Okay, and I actually wish that I would be the first award. That's the in any moment, if you go, then the number one award is the best delegate award in that committee. And I wish that I would be the best delegate, or I would at least get the second or third prize. That's the high com, but I didn't get that. And I learned from it that engagement in my voice and eye contact with the EB or the delegates around you is very important for for you to show them that how what is your personality, if you have the confidence to debate on these topics or not. Moving on. After the general speakers list, you would ask that, if okay, we have done the general speakers list, now what next? What next? So okay. So there are two motions, or we know in an MUN form, we call them caucuses. There are two types of caucuses. What is the moderated caucuses and other is the unmoderated caucus. Okay. When the first time I actually went to the MUN, I knew about the modern, I don't knew about it, the moderated caucus, but I didn't know that what do we do in unmoderated caucuses. So we start. So first, someone actually stand up and got a resolution for unmoderated caucus where I actually voted for it, but I even didn't knew that what did he say, what agenda did he say, and I didn't have, and as I didn't knew that what agenda did he spoke about, I was actually clueless about what to prepare for. But yes, as we moved on, I actually got my name from, I was actually on the second number on from the list of the speakers list for the moderate caucus, and I got myself to the below one. That would be the last one if you go to an MN, if the EB allows it. So moderate caucus. Actually, moderated caucus and unmoderated caucus. By the name, you can tell that moderated and unmoderated means formal and some informal, if you say. Moderated caucus. Actually, this is a formal session in which we like enter into an motion where we talk about some the sub agenda of the tour of the which is the main agenda. If you go to like in NUN, your committee would consist of one main agenda. Like if you go to an UN ECOSOC, you will have the agenda of rise of global warming. Let's just assume you have rise of global warming. Okay, in that rise of global warming, what you there are many sub agendas if you talk about. It can be like on the prevention on the use of CFCs, the chlorofluorocarbons, which are actually used in our refrigerators, in our air conditioners, and etc. So I am actually telling this from my personal experience. Or and then you can actually have many sub agendas, and you will talk about that. The each motion will have one sub agenda. We'll be talking about one sub agenda of the main agenda. Moderated caucus are this is actually it is a very extremely formal, where you are actually formal, and it is actually directed by the EB. In general speakers list, you actually just stand up and say what are your perspectives, and after that you may get some questions also. But in formal speeches, these are actually the EB decides that whom to go for first. But remember that usually in tech, it's the technology in unmoderated caucus. Technology is not permitted. But if you have already used technology for your preparation, then it won't matter you in moderated caucus because you've already done it, because you've already prepared for it using technology. And then a moderate caucus, you can just stand up, keep your views, keep your perspective, and any questions, even if the hardest question asked from you, you can answer it in no time. I think if you know the answer and you know what the delegate, what the opposition delegate is going to ask, they don't even need to actually hear what they are speaking. But I would actually, I would actually advise you that do fully hear, because sometimes they do not. Sometimes, as I am also a delegate, and I also it happens with me also. We don't get time to frame our questions, but we have a question in my mind, and when speaking and when we are framing it in our mind and speaking about it, then you just get like then they will say one thing first, and then they will actually add the second thing first. They are relative, the both the things will be relative to each other, but not much, and you may get confused. So if you answer without hearing, you are actually going to get no the opposition is going to say that you didn't fully hear my question. And I think that would be not, that would be something embarrassing. But okay, second thing we have is an unmoderated caucus. In the comparison of it, this is mainly used for discussion and paper writing. Here, actually, if you go to an MUN, the when you hear the unmoderated caucus, in an unmoderated caucus, you will be get given time of like minimum to minimum 5 minutes, and maximum if they extend it a lot, you can get 20 minutes also. And paper writing, here this is a thing where you can get for unmoderated caucus for 30 to 45 minutes also, because it takes time for you to write a paper. Actually, it's a resolution paper. So if when an unmoderated caucus starts, someone steps up and says that I want that I would like to raise a motion for an unmoderated caucus for a time limit of 15 minutes. Okay, let's assume it's for 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes, the EB gets the voting, and the motion is passed. So the EB would actually step out of the room. They will step out of the room, and you will get a chance to visit all the other delegates. You will all have a discussion, and that on what subject, what agenda do you want to talk about next? Like if I talked about prevention of CFCs, then I would go, then in an unmoderated caucus, I we would discuss that, okay, we have done the general speakers list, we have gone through the prevention of CFCs. Now what next? Come out with a new solution, like for rise of global warming. I think you can use industries. This industries would be a good one. That uh, there are some various chemicals the chemistry industry uses. These are in use in many factories. So prevention of that, you can go on that also. This unmoderated caucus, yeah, if you get the vibe, then it is very informal, and it is made for only for purely for discussion. And at the end of an MUN, it is for the resolution, drafting a resolution paper. In this, technology is allowed, but it's allowed without internet. And if saying about my personal experiences, then you go to in any MUN, you just need to keep your device what you have brought there, your phone, your iPad, your tab, your laptop, any device. You need to keep it on silent, and then actually you can work anything throughout the internet. Many EBs and many MUNs just don't care about. They just care about that you don't cause a disturbance in it, in the session. And also, yes, don't cause a disturbance. Okay, so moving on, as we were discussing about the papers, there are mainly two types of papers. Third is the drafting a resolution paper. We would talk about that next, further in our session. But talking about these two papers, we have a position paper and a working paper. A position paper, actually, when an MUN starts, you actually write it just before the MUN, or even sometimes the organizers tell you to write it before a week or before 2 to 3 days. Now you would ask, okay, we would write it, but what's in the position paper, or what do we write in the position paper? So the before the MUN starts, the time limit depends on the organizing committee. The MUN starts, we you actually highlight the main stance. What is, like, I am given the country of Russia. Let's just assume I'm given the Russia, and I have to talk about some agenda. So I would keep up that, if I would research on every single thing. You have to just don't go fishing on the internet. You have to actually search. If you just open something, if you write a question that this, and you have 20 links, 10, 20 links appearing on your page, you go through each of them, select some points and do that. It's not actually, I wouldn't call it as a full researching. It would be fishing, not research. Researching is when you go through various, not on technology only, but if you can get your hands on some physical resources also, like some books, some newspapers, wherever you can get. So I would keep my stance at what are the perspective of Russia on this agenda, what we have done on this agenda, what we do not agree to, what we agrees to, and how to prevent. Also, you can actually write about some solutions also. Right, if you can just read the slide, the screen presented in front of you. A position paper is written before an MUN starts, highlighting the main stance and history of your country. Like, the what is the history of your country, what is the history of my country, that's Russia, on this agenda. When did it came into existence in our country, and when and what did we do about it? History of your country regarding the issue. Well, there can be issues also at hand. Now, talking about, and actually many MUNs, if you go, they don't require position paper. Many MUNs will not ask you for a position paper. But yes, it's a good practice to keep a position paper video in case they ask you about it. Because if you are already prepared for everything, then it would then your MUN would go smoothly, like you are dancing on a butter plate, kind of that. Second paper we have is the working paper. A working paper is written while the conference is going on. Be alert that while the conference is going on, not that the conference has ended, but it's going on. Usually in unmoderated caucus, and although it's written on your laptop, most conferences don't allow the usage of internet to write a working paper. So you will ask, if we don't have the allowance of using internet to write a working paper, how we are going to write it on our laptop on any device? So the first thing first, you don't require an internet. If you, like I was talking about, if you have researched well, you will have the all the solutions, you will have all the solutions that you actually wanted to discuss and wanted to keep in front about your country. Then you can just actually add them into the working paper. And also remember that position paper is entirely made by you. These two papers are entirely made by you. Do not take any help, because if, well, they don't ask you anything about it, regarding anything about it, but if they ask you something on working paper as it's made while the conference is going on, then you need to be able to answer it. Usage to interact to write a working paper we have discussed. Okay. I would really say that ask the EB. Like in most MUNs you have seen, or you must have been seen, that the MUNs are declared through the Instagram. Instagram is a very, very, very useful resource for you to find MUNs for yourself in your city. Okay. So you must, like, if you follow some page, you are going to this MUN, you're going to XYZ MUN. Okay. Then in XYZ MUN, they release that this is our EB for this committee, this is the EB for this committee. Then contact the EB, or you can contact the organizers also on the Instagram, or maybe you can do just both. Then contact them about writing a position paper if they require a position paper. And if you want, you can also take your advice. That is a good practice. Just take your advice, because when you take their advice, then you also get to know that what kind of position paper they are looking forward to, what is their tone, and when you're talking to them, you would actually get that how the EB is, how the organizers and are. You will get it how to write a. You will get to a hint to writing a better position paper or working position paper. Mainly working paper is actually afterwards. Okay, so I think we should move on. Okay, so now coming to the main part, which is the use of technology in MUNs. Research binder. You would ask if someone has heard the name of research binder, then it's great. If you haven't, then you can just, I think, Google it. Research binder. You will ask what it is for the newcomers. A research binder. It is actually a folder. It is actually a digital folder, and actually, search binder doesn't actually refer to the digital folder. You can also uh, make it in a physical form. It is a full of printed pages. Yes, that is a printed pages. It is a physical one, but also these days you get an online one also, where which you can download. A research binder is a folder full of printed pages regarding statistics, data, and a lot of information that you think might be useful to use in committee. Okay. If I go to an MUN in my committee, they are discussing about COVID-19. Okay. COVID-19, the pandemic they're discussing. And if we discuss, like, I go to WHO, WHO is my committee, and we are discussing about COVID-19, then it would be very, very useful to you, because full of because statistics, if you read statistics, because in COVID-19, you would require statistics. Like, when it started, what was the situation at the beginning of the COVID-19, how it became such a massive, massive, big pandemic that the whole world got shut down for some time. Actually, if talking about it, actually was first 2 years. Okay, and data that how everything went in the during the time of COVID-19, and a lot of information. This is the whole of the information you can get on Research Binder that you think might be useful to use in committee. Okay, this can be for anything, but if you specifically go to a committee of WHO, then in the WHO committee, it would be very useful for you. Now, you will ask that what it contains. Your research binder uses information from trusted websites from your country's government, United Nations, the most trusted website, the UN, United Nations website. Actually, talking about the UN website, there is not only one UN website, as we have the many departments of UN. We also have many websites of there. Like United, there's one from United Nations, the whole of United Nations. There's other for WHO. There's the other for UNESCO. There's a different one for for UNDP. UNDP means United Nations Development Program. Okay, so it actually uses the your country's your websites from your country's government. We live in India, so any website that if you go to Google and search for any website from which is the government website from India, then you would find that at the URL. If you look at the URL of the web page that you're looking for in the, then you would find there is a word .gov, means .government at the end of it. It actually specifies that it is from the government of India. If you go to from USA, then it would actually contain from your United States. United States it would actually contain then websites from your country's government, as we discussed. United Nations, United W. If I can remember actually four: United Nations, UNESCO, UNDP, UN Development Program, and WHO. There might be others. Yes, there are others. Actually, UNICEF, fifth one, UNICEF. There is also UNICEF stands for United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Now, actually, it is for children and for women. The name is not changed, but it also now it aims for children and women, or for the protection of children and women. Actually, it was started for to protect children and women from actually at that time, you would if you would research on the history, that time it was a very and it was an era of women and children trafficking. Then to fight that, the UNICEF was made. Okay, moving on. Tips and tricks. These are some tips and tricks that you must use. It's a good practice. It's a great practice in an event. First things first, speeches. The speeches don't necessarily determine how much knowledge one has about a particular topic. Okay. Now you will say that just now, a moment before I said that speeches would actually be very helpful, and now I'm saying they don't necessarily determine how much knowledge one has about a particular topic. So if you just think about it, then you would get that these speeches are actually anyone. Like if you go to an event, you would research on the topic and then make a speech and then say about it. That that is not actually the knowledge. If you learn what that speech contains, if you get some knowledge from your researching, then that's called knowledge. If you just write it, make a speech, go and talk about that you just say your speech. If anyone asks you a question, you can you maybe pass on that, or you also get if you have an answer to that by seeing what you have prepared, then it's not the knowledge, you have got. Please be keep in mind, knowledge is one that it's like COVID-19. Talk about COVID-19. If you have some knowledge on COVID-19, that how it spread, what were the consequences and all, then that would be knowledge. Avoid using in too much content from AI or the internet and use your own words. Okay, I know that this is a session on modern technology and MUNs, and you would say that no AI, no intent. That's not true, but avoid using too much content. Too much, please highlight that word from AI on the internet. If you for AI, if you know the common example is ChatGPT. If you get everything from ChatGPT, you know that an experienced debater or an experienced MUNer would actually just if you use ChatGPT, they would just get to know that yes, you have used ChatGPT, and that would be very embarrassing moment for you and very harmful moment for you in your speech. Like when I was in my last MUN, the LPS MUN Jan 2024 edition in Chandigarh, one delegate from my committee was actually using chat gpt for the whole time, and on the humans are actually mainly for 2 days, or it can also go for 3 days, depends on the organizers. So on the second day, an another debater, another MUN, just actually raised a question to the EB, that saying that please can you ask the delegate of XYZ to stop using chat gpt, because it was a she actually knew, she was an experienced debater, so she knew that yes, this is he or she is using an chat gpt or AI. So don't use much content from AI. Yes, you can get an idea if you want to get some knowledge, as we talked about it, knowledge or idea. If you want to get, then you yes use chat gpt, but don't make your speeches from AI, please keep in mind, or the internet. Or if you from internet, if you research also, then research about it, add what points you would be saying in your speech, and then convert them into your own words. Okay. Third, the way you deliver the speech matters, including body language, expressions, and tone. What does this means? When you are giving your speech, the delivery, that how do you give the speech, what is your body language during the speech, like if you see I am moving here and there when talking to you, and my language, expressions, and my tone, the tone which I'm talking about, my expressions which are on my face, if you see that right now, then these are the things which matter the most in speeches. Because because anyone can if anyone can prepare a speech and talk and just go and speak about it, that yes, my country, I'm delegate of this XYZ country, my XYZ country thinks this, we are ready to use this, and we agree to this, we don't disagree, we disagree to this. So this would be like very worst. Don't do that. Always go, yes, I am the delegate of if I give you an example, I'm the delegate of this country, XYZ country. My country especially thinks that we are ready to do this. This are my country's perspective. We have prevented this from this, and you get the idea of what I'm talking about, right? Including quotes in speeches that can be found on the internet, and give credit to the source. Okay, this is a very important point, that in speeches, it's a common practice to use quotes at the beginning. Like you say, I quote this, and then you start. Good morning, good morning, my fellow debaters in a debate or in win. So, yes, include the quotes in your speeches. They actually look very unique, and especially if you use unique quotes, and it looks very, fantastic and amazing. But the main thing is to, if you found out it on the internet, then give credit to the source you have found on it. Okay. Giving credit is very important for you and your speech. Moving on. Try to use points from UN's website, as that is the website from which no EB or delegate can deny you a point. Okay. So in the first MUN I went, I in that MUN I learned that whenever you research about, you go to various websites, you go to various links and use it to make prepare yourself, prepare your speech, prepare your other content than speech, right? That you must have knowledge about this. And when someone comes up with a moderate caucus, if you remember the motion of moderate caucus, which is about the sub agenda of the main agenda, then you would get that yes, okay, that on some other delegate or even you have raised an motion on this sub agenda and you have already some content on that agenda, then you can give your speech, answer questions and everything else. In this also, whenever I am in debate and Manan, if we take that, he asked me a question, he's my fellow debater, he asked me a question and I answer him to that, and then he says that it is, if it's a question on data, that which are the, if I take an example, then he asked which are the top three um countries in top three economies. Okay, I answered that first is this, second is this, third is this, and he says no. That he says no, I am incorrect. He says that first is this, second is other, third is other one. Like he says that the answer I have given is wrong. Then only then which then whom to give credit to, Mayan or me? That is decided by looking, mainly we decides by looking at the data. The data may be of different years. If his data is from 2019, my can be from 2017, 2018, or ahead 2024, 2023, 2022. Okay. And the second thing, which is the most important thing, is looked at it's if it's from UN's website or any other website. Because in an MUN, UN, same thing. So in an MUN, main if points are from UN's website like UNDP, UNICEF, WHO, these are taken as the universal facts. If someone says one fact, I say other fact, then and my fact is on the UN's website, but his is not, or his is proven false from that from the UN's website, then I would be given, and his fact is not on the UN's website, it's from any other website. My fact is from UN's website and is not on any other website. Then I would be given the credit because UN's website would get you points. It's the universal. It's the universal set for the researching and the facts you've got. Try to use points. So try to use points from UN's website because that is a website for which no EB or delegate can deny a point. Even not even EB can say that no, that you are wrong. UN's website would actually overpowers everyone. Going on, it's best to use only official resources. Official resources means UN's website. The in if you go to an if you are talking about the something like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan from the government of India, then go to that government of India and pick points, pick facts from there, not from any other website, because any other website can be of false information, but the official website would give you true information and that would be listened to and given credit to also. Convert them into your own language. So convert your speeches, convert your answers into your own language, because your own language would mean more than any other language. Improve your language, you can use some AI websites too. Okay. So when if you want to improve your English language, like I was also poor in English language, maybe I am. So and you want to improve your English language to be able to go to debates and MUNs and speak what you want to speak and frame the sentence you want to speak very fast in your mind, then you can use some AI websites. We will talk about that also later in the session. Moving on. incorporate technology into your speeches effectively without making it seem like the content is copied from the internet or other resources, and incorporate technology into speeches effectively. It means that when you, if I get some paragraph on some on some topic, I got that paragraph from the internet, and I use AI, Grammarly AI or Chat GPT AI to improve it, to improve the language of the speech. Then they would give me a good one. But when they give you, just pick some keywords that you think would be very, very, you know, that these keywords will actually increase your chances for the EBs recognizing you and giving you points. Okay. And keep the others and like a paragraph. From this, we have selected some keywords which we have got from the AI, like ChatGPT AI or Grammarly AI. Here we have got some keywords. So only the keywords and other things. The apart from these keywords, we can convert them into our own language, and a mixture would look great without making it seem like the content is copied from the internet or the resources. Because if you do, then the EB, when the keyword comes, they might think that you have copied it from the internet or you have used AI. But apart from AI, apart from those keywords, whole other speech is in your own language, and you are able to speak it like much clearly. Then you get a hint that yes, he has prepared for, he or she, the delegate has prepared for it, and it is in his own language, because the originality is very much seen in the amendments or debates. It is important to be smart while not relying solely on AI. Don't rely on AI, but use your smartness. Okay, that if AI gives you one fact, then that fact, you search that fact on the whole internet, especially if you can get that fact from the official websites. Okay, and use your smartness to also use your smartness to counteract the questions when other delegates ask you, because many times the delegates ask you some questions which you can use your smartness to answer them without seeing the the things you have prepared for. Moving on. OP exams. So this is actually a website. OP exams is a comprehensive online platform offering a wide range of exam preparation materials and resources. Okay, if I just may, I think I can share my screen. Just a second. If I may get you the thing, I would just get it to open for you to show here. Yeah. Okay. So, I would just share my screen. I hope that everyone can see my screen. And this is the official website from the OP exams. If you click on the link here, you can see products. This is not much you need, but yes, you can explore on it. You can online exams, quizzes, paper exams, AI questions generator. Okay, so these four things: paper exam, question generator, quiz generator, classroom web page creator. These are not much you can use in your MUN. But yes, on online exams you can use so that you get, because the questions will be prepared from some facts, from some info, and you can use that info in an MUN, in your speech, in a debate, or or in your answers also. Okay, if you see that these are the main six functions that this website can do. Actually, and you can see that this has many powered by many institutions like the Wesleyan School, University of Southern California, LPL in financial, Raspberry Pi information, and Ford. Yes, Ford, that's a great one. So I am not going to subscribe for now. The University of Arizona. Yes, that's a great one. Okay, so I will just stop my screen share. Yes, please share the screen again. Yeah. So I hope that you get an idea how you can use OP exams in your for you to prepare. Just go there, click on the online exam or some quiz, get the question, get some information on that, pick that info and use it in your speeches, in your research part. And also, if you like in an MO, it is very important for you to say that which countries are your opponents and how on an agenda you can actually, you know, counteract them. Like if they're opposition to you, then you would have to ask them questions. And those questions also you can pick from this website. So I just told you a very crucial website for these. Moving on. Okay. So we have the Grammarly plagiarism checker. Hmm. Okay. So talking about that, I hope I actually kind of look that if many of you must know about the Grammarly plagiarism checker. It is a robust tool that scans documents for duplicate content, ensuring originality and integrity in writing. Okay. So actually main thing is that if you write a speech, then it can be a very crucial use for you that you write a speech, you go to this website, Grammarly Plagiarism Checker, and here you put your document. If you have prepared a document, or you can also put text there, then put that there. It can give you points where it is copied from the internet, and it can even correct these points also, for so that it doesn't look that it's from the internet. It's seamlessly integrated with Grammarly suite of writing aids. I We know that everyone has heard of Grammarly, and I think that yes, everyone would have been heard for Grammarly Pattern Checker. It offers writers peace of mind and confidence in their work's authenticity, because yes, they are peace of mind. They are actually relaxed because they have this tool, because they know that yes, we have this tool. We Whatever they write, it can be translated into an original form. Moving on, UN.org. Okay, so this is the official website of UN.org. It serves as the official digital gateway to the United Nations. It provides you with a wealth of information on global issues, initiatives, and activities undertaken by the organization United Nations. With its multilingual platform and comprehensive resources, UN.org fosters awareness, collaboration, and action towards global peace, development, and human rights. Okay, I think I can maybe you know show you these things. Show you these if you want to. Just a second. I would be sharing my screen. Okay, so here you can see that I've actually opened the main website of UN.org. I just typed UN.org and it automatically entered. Now here it asks me for which language would I like to see it in. We have typically 6 languages. I would obviously suggest English. So this is the main United Nations website. It can be actually it if this is the homepage, it can keep changing or according to the news and everything coming in. So here it says protecting insects and protecting birds. Okay, so we know UN has very this aims on for the global issues, everything, even from the small thing to the war, to the Israel-Palestine war, anything. From the small things like protecting insects, protecting birds, and all. Like if they have they have given us some information, they have provided some information that World Migratory Bird Day, if you say here, highlights the vital role of insects for migratory birds under concern that declining insect populations along migratory routes are threatening bird survival and impacting ecosystem. Okay, if you want, you can actually read it for your, personal information and for some knowledge you have. It would be great for you to use in your Olympiads or, sometimes you get to use in your classes also. Here you can see that we have one more news. UN, like if you use that UN General Assembly presses Security Council to give favorable consideration to full Palestinian membership. Okay, these actually now they actually focusing on the Israel and Palestine war. So to here you can see this is regarding the Palestine, and here you can see Gaza as exodus from Rafah continues. Opening of aid lines. Yes, UN actually aid every country in the time of the war, because if there are two sides in a war. Which side the UN supports, it actually it would give aid to that side, aid to that side, because if like we have a country A versus a country B, then the UN is UN thinks that that the country A is on the right side and country B attacked earlier first, and the country B is wrong on every side. Then the UN will give aid to country A. Like if you read newspapers, read articles, watch news, read so if you have if you have some other resources also, then you would get that there has been a lot of information for the how the UN is helping on the Israel-Palestine war. Okay, so I think we can discuss all this also, that UN Sustainable Development Goals. So this is a very important thing. This is actually this has started in all over the India. If you check the NCERT books of the CBSE board, then sometimes they also have 1 or 2 pages related to this, because this is a very useful, and this is a these are the goals that we need to transform our world, as you can read on the screen. These sustainable development goals are a call for action by all countries for the three or for all the three classes: poor, middle, and rich, to promote prosperity while protecting the planet. Yes, prosperity is necessary, is good, but while protecting planet is amazing. You can read more about these sustainable development goals if you want to hear more from United Nations. If you see that here we have some. Okay, after Diego Luna, when journalists kills, thousands of people are silenced. Okay, you can read it if you want to, because these things can be great or used for your knowledge, and also if you are a good reader, if you like to read, then this would be a good hobby for you. Afghans in Pakistan face uncertain future. You can you can read it. Yeah, here you can see that these are also there is some information given for informations. Okay, and whom, like if there are any newcomers to the website, like there is someone that who has not even known about you when that person comes first time to the UN website, that it is for this, that what we do, that what does the UN do? It, due to the powers vested in its charter, in the UN charter, if you have gone through 10th history, I'm talking about, if you have read history and civics, then in the history, in the contemporary world, that's actually you part of our history books, then you would know that this the UN charter, you will get you will there is a chapter on United Nations also. There's actually 1 or 2 chapters related to United Nations. There you can get to know about the UN charter also. And if you want here also, you can, I will just show you. But reading it, that issues confronting humanity in the 21st century: maintain international peace and security, protect human rights, deliver humanitarian aid as it is now in the times of Israel and Palestine war, promoting sustainable development, like in the agriculture industry, mainly in the agriculture industry, because there here is the need for the sustainable development and upholding international law. Here you can see this is actually from the, yes, the International Court of Justice from the, it is actually also a kind of part of MUN, UN also, UN only, but yes, this actually, this International Court of Justice, you can find it in Hague in Netherlands. That is a very, if any there is a conflict between two countries and these both countries are a part of UN, then there then a conflict between them will be resolved by the International Court of Justice at Hague in Netherlands. Structure. So yes, this all actually, if you have read the 10th history books, if it was in yours, actually it was in mine, then you would know that there is a UNGA, Nations General Assembly. This is the main deliberative policy making and representative organ of the UN. Actually, there are currently 193 member states. Member states means not the states, please don't get it for states like we have 29 states in India. Please get it for member states means the countries in India. No, sorry, my fault. The countries all over the world. 193 countries, 193 member states of the UN are represented in the United Nations General Assembly, making it the only UN body with universal representation. And I would also like, if you want some information that I would like to give, then UNGA here, every country is represented by its five members. Like if there is from India, then five members represent India. But there is only if there is, there is voting on many matters, on many issues, on many matters. Then the only one vote goes to each country. Like there would be 193 votes. Yes, there can be some abstentions also. Abstinence means that abstain from voting means you are not voting, but yes, you're present. Security Council. The Security Council has primary responsibility under the UN Charter for the maintenance of international peace and security. There's 15 members, which are 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent members. I would like to tell that these 10 non-permanent members are actually elected according to the, like, they can be of any member state or anyone, but these are elected over the time period actually for the UN. I think it's 2 to 5 2 years or maybe 5 years, and there are 5 permanent states, including the USA and Russia. And yes, there are three. I can actually remember them now, but yes, they are. And each member has one vote under the UN Charter. All member states are obligated to comply with the Council decision. If the General Assembly is the main deliberative, policy making, and representative organ of the UN, the Security Council is the actual for a maintenance of international peace and security, and every decision of the UNSC is the decision of the whole UN and has to be complied with. If you, I'm giving you some information. Economic and Social Council, as I have talked about, UN ECOSOC, the Economic and Social Council is the principal body for coordination, policy review, policy dialogue, and recommendations on economic and social environmental issues, as well as implementation of internationally agreed development goals. Actually, UNDP development goals, UN United Nations Development Goals, there's a different website. I would come to that also. We have a trusteeship council. Actually, this is not much talked about, but yes, you can read that this council was established in 1945 by the UN Charter under the Chapter 13 to provide international supervision for 11 trusted territories that had been placed under the admission of 7 member states, and ensured that adequate steps were taken to prepare the territories for self-government and independence. It is the International Court of Justice, as I talked about, principal judicial organ of the UN. Its seat is at the Peace Palace in the Hague, Netherlands. It is the only one of 6 principal organs of the United Nations, which is not located in New York, USA. If there are six actually main um six you can talk, we have six organs, 6 principal organs of the UN. This is the only one which is not located in the this is in the Netherlands. not in New York, but other five are in New York. We have an other secretariat also. It comprises of the Secretary General and tens of thousands of international UN staff members who carry out the day-to-day work of the UN as mandated by the GA, UNGA, which is Generally, and the organization's other principal organs. You can see many things. There are many things. If I read all, it would be like it would take me 2 days. Hey, some get involved also. Hey, you can connect with UN careers. You can actually there are vacancies. Some you can apply for these vacancies also if you are looking for a internship or a job. I don't think that it's mainly a job, but yes, it's a internship also is there. These must be a jobs. These are the exams if you want to give from the UN. These are powered by UN also. Young professional YBP, junior professional JPO, competitive exam for language professionals, and global general service test. That's also something. GST internships. Yes, there are internships. As I was talking about internship opportunities. If you go to it, you can see it's loading. This is a whole new page, and I'm not going to go through these all, but these are some internships that you can do. Political affairs intern, information management, and AI analysis and intern. Yes, if you are good in AI and computers, then you can go for it. Warning, they are job advice office. Yeah, so be aware that actually there are many organizations that could falsely state that they are from the UN, but they are not from UN. UN does not request payment at any stage of the application review process. The UN only is this is the website where you can search for the UN's internships and jobs. Also, events in news, viewer, our work. If they go to like UN's work, read about that, you will like get a good. Yeah, so if you go to member states, as we were talking about, it goes from A to Y. Yeah, Afghanistan, Albania, Australia, Spain, Bahamas. Okay, so yes, these are all. Now coming to the okay, if I talk about the UNDP, so this is a UNDP org, UNDP's website. Okay, so United Nations Development Program. This has a whole new, if you look closely, then the other page, which was the UN's main page, it was very formal and it was didn't have many animations like this one has on the homepage only. This color, whenever you see this color, it means that the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. It's all over there in every website you will find it. Every website from the UN. Okay, if you see, you can search there for the office types. Yes, there are some many things I don't actually know for all, but we do our impact, who we are like. If you go there, get involved. If you want to get involved, yes, you can find here also some careers, some other things. Now, coming back, okay, if I would show you the Grammarly plagiarism checker if you want. Okay, not going to this one. Yeah, this is the one. You can enter some text. If I go, I can okay, write something. This is the session. I'm writing anything. It would scan for present. Okay, so enter 36 more words. Okay, it requires some more words. Let's give it there. The session is Okay, it would take me some time to write these words. Okay, I'm writing anything I want to just to complete these words. Okay, it takes more time than I. Okay, now it can scan for plagiarism. Uh, okay, so this would scan. It is scanning right now. And it's writing small. It can scan fast. Okay, we have found significant plagiarism in your text and have also detected 10 writing issues. Okay, so plagiarism checker, and writing issues. These are the Grammarly's work. Okay, these are something, so you get an idea of what you can do with it. Um, I will stop my screen sharing. Please share the screen again. So moving on, WHO website. Oh, I didn't show you the WHO website. Okay, we will go to that also. But the WHO website serves as a primary online resource for the World Health Organization, offering vital information, updates, and resources on global health issues, emergencies, and initiatives. If you got to know that in the time also, if no one has heard the name of WHO, then they must have heard it once, at least once in the 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, because this was a time where the UN also was discussed, because the WHO was discussed, because this, by the name you can tell, World Health Organization, COVID-19 related to health. You must have heard about the WHO, World Health Organization. With its evidence-based guidance and outreach efforts, WHO's website plays a crucial role in promoting public health and well-being worldwide. Okay, so this is a, you can see the symbol. It's actually, these are the two olive leaves with the, from the polar map of the world, and a snake between them. Snake on a pole. Actually, if you see the UN's logo, then it's these two olive leaves with the polar map. The WHOs just have this a bit with a snake on the pole. I think so, it's kind of a pole, right? It looks like a pole. Moving on. Google News. Okay, so Google News is a dynamic platform that aggregates news from various sources worldwide, providing users with personalized, up-to-date information on diverse topics of internet. Okay, so this is also like, um, Google News. This is also a website for you to, like, where you can get some knowledge, for you to, like, if I'm going to an when I'm going to, we are my agenda is COVID-19 pandemic. So here I can use, so Google News I can use, because it actually contains, mostly it contains authentic information. It may contain some false information, but it's very rare that it does. And with its intuitive interface and powerful algorithms, Google News delivers a curated news experience to individual preferences, fostering informed decision making and global awareness. Okay, so if I okay, so I would also I would also my screen share my screen for Google News also, and the okay, so I will now only wait a second. Okay, just I will do it. Yeah, so we have it here. You can see Google News. I would just go here. Okay, so I am actually logged in from my account. That doesn't work here. Okay, just a second. I would, do something else if I can. Yeah, so we have here the Google News. I would actually go to it now. And most probably it is not opening. I don't know why it's not opening. I actually don't know why it's not opening. Actually, it should open. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's working now. Yes, yes. I can see that the top news is for Arvind Kejriwal's. Okay, yeah, these things. These are the political India. Actually, it shows you mainly for India because my location is in India, so it is showing me mainly for India. The main news in India. Yeah, this is the actually international news also some. And it shows that when was the this news released. You can see these are the yesterday's one, and you can see here 10 hours ago by someone also. Yeah, they can give their names if they want to. Whoever post the news. I don't know. It's from the many news there are. You can check these. If I go for COVID-19 pandemic, I would find tons of these things if I go to there. Okay, so this is directing me to a new page. This is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I don't think. Okay, you can, it directs you to these websites where you can just get it. Oh, yes, we got one. Yes, this is a good one. This from WHO. COVID-19 from WHO. Okay, I can now show you WHO's website also here and here only. So, the COVID-19 pandemic, I actually have some press conference videos. If you want, I can, show you. And if, okay, these are some things that goes on. These are the press conferences. WHO hosts. You can see it actually, these things are mainly on the UN's website. These are the same template they use. Okay, Google News. If I go to some, okay, welcome to the United. This is from the UN website we just visited. Okay, this is the WHO website, and this is the UN website. Yeah, so this is you can see. Here, this is WHO's WHO chief. Okay, yes. So UN in case of COVID-19 and health related problems, WHO is widely related. We are on the UN website. WHO is here is also because WHO mainly manages all. You can see these things, meetings, information. These are video. These are you can see. You can see these UN Web TV COVID-19 playlist. Also, there are some amazing data information. Lot of statistics that you can use here for your. Okay, that's not in. That you can use for your knowledge. Okay, now I think I can show you. If you see this is the from globalizing health, this might be a different the World Bank Group. Okay, World Bank Group. Okay, if I show you that this then when we are talking about UNESCO, especially the UN, economic. Then when we are talking about economic, the World Bank, it means the World Bank comes first in economic, as the WHO comes in first in health, World Bank comes first in economic things. Like if I show you its website, food security, climate change, World Bank data, building a better bank. Okay, so this is for some banks. This is not World Bank data. Actually UN shares these videos, these texts, these information, you know, this data for us or for worldwide people to understand and be better in what they are doing. Like if you go to this is a building of a better bank, and this if someone wants to, if someone is working in a bank, someone opens a bank, and this is what them and showing you the WHO's official website. Conflict in Israel and the occupied Palestine territory. You can see, you can see here, these are some good WHO's actually has these, in health, you can have an emergency in any time. And these are the things WHO in emergencies means what preventions, what steps that has WHO taken in these emergencies. They, as I told you, data at WHO, they give data free. Okay, these they give data free, and you can use it to be, better because UN has everything. It has a separate department for everything, so you can use that data and be better in whatever field you are. About our work funding. Okay, this WHO actually gets funding from various countries. These are accountability program budget. You could also share a budget. Oh, yes, they do. Governing bodies, World Health Assembly. And these are also some, if I go to here, yeah, the World Health Assemblies. These are also some 27 May to 1st June. You can see that it's for the 4 days. 77th World Health Assembly. Yeah, okay, these are some things going on. Now coming back, please share a slide. Yeah, ScaleNet. This is also on a website. This is an AI-powered writing platform, which is designed to assist and enhance the creative process for writers of all levels. Now, this is also like OP exams we discussed about. This is also kind of that only, but you can as I was telling, some AIs are intended to improve your keywords. This is one of them. With its advanced algorithms and intuitive interface, ScaleNet helps users generate high quality content efficiently and effectively. So you can use this website also. So this is for you. Visit this website, explore it. Right. Moving on. Yeah. Some tools to make MUNs and debates easy. Okay. Research Binder, a great place to keep your papers, notes, and necessary guides. We have already talked about. First is a stopwatch. Stopwatch. Actually, this is not a tool. This is just a tool, not some, you know, powerful AI or something. This is just normal stopwatch use. It is nice to have before a conference so you can time your opening speeches to ensure that your chair, means the EB, doesn't cut you off because you went over time. Because when giving debates and when in amendments, we have the minimum time of 60 seconds and maximum of 90 seconds. It depends on EB. If the EB gives you like 60 seconds, like I have written also, remember the most common opening speech time is 60 to 90 seconds. The EB mail, if the EB gives you 60 seconds, let's just assume EB gives you 60 seconds for the speeches, then you need to complete it before 60 seconds. And when to time it up, you can practice that by stopwatch. Okay, and it's not necessary that you do it before going to the MUN. Going to the MUN before doing, and it's very good. But if you make some changes or anything when in the conference before your speech is yet to come, then you can just practice in your mind using a stopwatch at how much time do you take and how you can cut that remove some lines which are not actually of much help because your main point is covered and that they do not require much help. They were just to elaborate on that. Then and you can cut off and you can end in 55 to 60 seconds. It's good. If you end before the time, then if 5 to 10 seconds remaining, then you have POIs. POIs means point of information. These are actually the questions that the delegates will ask you. So so to answer them also keep your time. Some if newcomers are there or many people are there who do not want to actually answer the questions, then this would not be good because not answering questions would not give you most points because let's just assume if there is 5 points for speeches and 2 points for giving answers to one question, then you the one who who's only speeches speaks his or her speech and sits down. then they get 5 points. If on the floor, like on the floor, I end in 55 seconds. The EB asks that you have 5 seconds remaining. How would you yield it? Yield, how would you like to use it? POIs, if you say questions will be asked, or if you just sit down, or yield it to the EB, it means that you give your time to the EB and you are finished. You can sit down. That is not good. Please, this is my advice to go for POIs, because who just sits down, he gets 5 points. He or she gets 5 points. And whoever answers like 5 seconds, in 5 seconds you can answer two questions. So mainly they give two questions for 5 seconds. Then you get 4 points also. You get 9 points. And 9, 5, it's comparison. It's a lot of comparison. Okay. So be aware of that. Research binder we have discussed. Last, we have the Google dataset research. Google dataset search. This, as we have discussed, it's also kind of like the Google News, but bit different. It is a search engine. It is like, yes, Google is a search engine, but it's a different search engine dedicated to helping users find data sets available on the web. Now, you would say that what's the difference between an data set research, Google data set search, and Google News? Google News gives you news. It gives you statistics data, which we have discussed about earlier in a session. It gives you data sets. It will give you like data, a lot of data, pie charts, bar graphs, everything. Ma- So in comparison, if you use these um tools and these AI websites, then you can be great in your MUNs, and I guarantee you that you will win your MUNs. Yeah, not for 100% guarantee, but yes. So moving on. Okay, so looking forward to see you in our next session. Cheers. So it's end from our website. If anyone wants to ask us question, please ask now. You have a chance. Any question related to ambient debates or these technologies or anything I've talked about. Okay, so I think that this would be everything from our side, and we would end the session here. Thank you everyone for joining us in for our today's session, and we look forward to seeing you in our next